Perhaps it's good for one to suffer. Can an artist do anything if he's happy? Would he ever want to do anything? What is art, after all, but a protest against the horrible inclemency of life? The worst enemy of life, freedom, and the common decencies is total anarchy. Their second worst enemy is total efficiency. Bondage is the life of personality, and for bondage the personal self will fight with tireless resourcefulness and the most stubborn cunning. It is a bit embarrassing to have been concerned with the human problem all one's life and find at the end that one has no more to offer by way of advice than try to be a little kinder. Most of one's life is one prolonged effort to prevent oneself thinking. Consistency is contrary to nature, contrary to life. The only completely consistent people are dead. Every man who knows how to read has it in his power to magnify himself, to multiply the ways in which he exists, to make his life full, significant, and interesting. Men do not learn much from the lessons of history, and that is the most important of all the lessons of history. From their experience or from the recorded experience of others, history. Men learn only what their passions and their metaphysical prejudices allow them to learn. De Sade is the one completely consistent and thoroughgoing revolutionary of history. The charm of history and its enigmatic lesson consist in the fact that, from age to age, nothing changes and yet everything is completely different. God isn't compatible with machinery and scientific medicine and universal happiness. You must make your choice. Our civilization has chosen machinery and medicine and happiness. All gods are homemade, and it is we who pull their strings, and so, give them the power to pull ours. There's only one effectively redemptive sacrifice, the sacrifice of self-will to make room for the knowledge of God. Speed provides the one genuinely modern pleasure. Feasts must be solemn and rare, or else they cease to be feasts. What is absurd and monstrous about war is that men who have no personal quarrel should be trained to murder one another in cold blood. If human beings were shown what they're really like, they'd either kill one another as vermin, or hang themselves. There is no substitute for talent. Industry and all its virtues are of no avail. That we are not much sicker and much madder than we are is due exclusively to that most blessed and blessing of all natural graces, sleep. An unexciting truth may be eclipsed by a thrilling lie. Man is an intelligence in servitude to his organs. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you mad. Words, words, words. They shut one off from the universe. 3/4 of the time one's never in contact with things, only with the beastly words that stand for them. Specialized meaninglessness has come to be regarded, in certain circles, as a kind of hallmark of true science. The proper study of mankind is books. The impulse to cruelty is, in many people, almost as violent as the impulse to sexual love, almost as violent and much more mischievous. Dream in a pragmatic way. several excuses are always less convincing than one. Everyone who wants to do good to the human race always ends in universal bullying. Sons have always a rebellious wish to be disillusioned by that which charmed their fathers. You should hurry up and acquire the cigar habit. It's one of the major happinesses, and so much more lasting than love, so much less costly in emotional wear and tear. Writers write to influence their readers, their preachers, their auditors, but always, at bottom, to be more themselves. That all men are equal is a proposition to which, at ordinary times, no sane human being has ever given his assent. Experience is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. A man may be a pessimistic determinist before lunch and an optimistic believer in the will's freedom after it. Children are remarkable for their intelligence and ardor, for their curiosity, their intolerance of shams, the clarity and ruthlessness of their vision. So long as men worship the Caesars and Napoleons, Caesars and Napoleons will duly arise and make them miserable. There's only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that's your own self. A bad book is as much of a labor to write as a good one. It comes as sincerely from the author's soul. To his dog, every man is Napoleon, hence the constant popularity of dogs. My fate cannot be mastered, it can only be collaborated with and thereby, to some extent, directed. Nor am I the captain of my soul, I am only its noisiest passenger. Most ignorance is vendible ignorance. We don't know because we don't want to know. Hell isn't merely paved with good intentions. It's walled and roofed with them. Yes, and furnished too. Like every other good thing in this world, leisure and culture have to be paid for. Fortunately, however, it is not the leisured and the cultured who have to pay.